I'm here with Motivate Korean and SpongeMind, or I guess...
I go by Jeremy in regular life. Yeah, my last name is Korean. So.
I got a grapefruit drink. Oh, there's like pieces of grapefruit in there.
Yeah, mine too.
I got a hand-drip coffee from Have Some Coffee in Koreatown, Los Angeles.
We'll put the address right here in the description.
We're not sponsored by them, but seriously, it's a nice coffee shop.
So we're going to be talking today about the Intermediate Plateau. What is the Intermediate Plateau, Jeremy?
Plateau. It's kind of a place where you've gotten comfortable with your Korean. You can do stuff. You studied really hard to get there. You feel like you've accomplished something big, but you're still very, very aware of your inadequacies, your weaknesses, and all the mistakes you're making.
With English, I think I'm even passing the point, and I'm just focusing on just becoming a better communicator versus a better language learner. But with German, I'm approaching intermediate level.
That's right, you're learning German now.
Yeah, so I'm going to get there.
You're not at the Intermediate Plateau yet, though.
Not yet, but I'm getting there. I can feel that I'm getting closer to that point.
It is just what Jeremy said. It's you don't feel like you're going anywhere now. And that happens at typically the intermediate level. You might know a significant number of vocabulary words and phrases, and maybe you can even hold a full conversation, but your growth stagnates. You plateau, you stop improving. So how long would it take for someone to reach this level if they're just starting Korean?
I mean, how long is a hard question because it depends on the number of hours you put in. But I would say when you get to a point where without thinking you can make a lot of sentence forms quite easily. The basic tenses you have down, but maybe you're not very good with honorifics yet. You still have trouble saying the things in a natural way, and Koreans don't understand you a lot, even though you're trying to say what you think is right.
I mean, same as Jeremy. It depends on the number of hours. It depends on how focused you are.
How many days? How many hours will I reach that in?
It's 522 days, to be exact. But seriously, there's so many variables, there's so many factors that affect, how soon you can reach the plateau.
Why is there this plateau? Because it seems to come out of nowhere. What causes it to happen?
I think it's a balance between the extreme effort you put in the beginning to get up to that level. Then you start to experience the fun of actually doing it, and the fun takes away from the desire to continue pushing yourself higher.
So you feel like that being able to suddenly have these basic conversations is stripping you of your motivation or what do you call it, diligence to keep going?
Yeah, it's like you get dessert before dinner. Yeah. You get your grade back before you finish your test, that kind of thing. It's like, well, I already got an A. Why do I need to finish this test?
Okay.
So you get stuck there.
There are a lot of people who are in that level who live in Korea, and they can have basic conversations, and they might lower how much they're studying, or I guess that could be another reason, is you're not studying as much as you were before. So why do you think this happens, Johnson?
So I can talk about the experience of me teaching Korean online to other people, the total beginners. They get so excited when they learn new phrases, new words, because for them it's not only 20% improvement, it's 200%, 300% improvement, sometimes 1,000% improvement. Today they only know 3 words, but tomorrow they know, 30 words, right? And then they reach a certain point where they don't really feel the improvement anymore. It's not 1,000% improvement every day. I almost think that this intermediate plateau is an illusion. The truth is you are still improving, right? If you are listening to Korean every day, if you are reading Korean every day, if you are speaking some Korean every day, I think you should know that you are improving no matter what.
So the next thing then to talk about is, how do you get over the intermediate plateau? I actually thought about this a lot, because this is a topic that I've wanted to make a video on for, I'd say, at least a couple years. And I've been keeping track of a bunch of ideas I've had, and I want to run those ideas by you. Do you think that these are good ideas for getting over the intermediate plateau or not? So I'm going to give you an idea. You say, yay, it's good, or nay, it's not good. First idea is writing down everything that you wanted to say but couldn't say. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay? Okay. What about you? 안녕하세요. 영국 남자? 아니요. Yay or nay?
Well, yeah, I think that's good, but not looking it up, because looking it up never works. You look at it by looking it up. Probably ask a native who speaks English really well,
okay, that's a good
and
point.
Your language exchange partner or friend. And I think that's a really good way to do it, because you have to fill in the gaps. So yeah, I think that's a good one.
You can really get the what is the sense of accomplishment back, and that will get you out of the plateau pretty quickly.
The next thing would be making sentences with every new word that you're learning. Yay or nay?
I used to try that a lot. I don't know why, but it didn't work very well for me. It was really hard for me to make up sentences out of context. So that one didn't work so well for me, but I think it could work for others.
Okay, so yay or nay?
Yay and nay both mean yes in Korean, right? So
I mean, I'll basically say anything that you put into making more progress from your intermediate level is always helpful. But at the same time, you should be very careful not to be perfectionist about it. That would actually make you struggle more. You don't want to do it with everything, every word, every new word that you're learning. But I think it's a really good practice.
Should you switch the resources that you're using? Yay or nay?
let's say you study in your house and then one day you go out to a library or a cafe like this one and study. For me, I find that shift in environment helps me to focus different. It's new. It's like getting new clothes. I don't know. It's that sense of newness might renew your motivation to keep going. So I think that's a good one.
I would say yay, because you're gonna start getting exposed to a different range of vocabulary expressions and grammar points. I keep going back to the same point again. You can restore that excitement again.
Okay.
Oh, I'm learning something new.
That's a good point.
I feel like I'm becoming a beginner again. How exciting.
When you think about kids, right? Every kid wants to act like they're older. They're like, when I was 12, I remember
I'm doing it myself.
Yeah, I can walk to school by myself. I'm 12 years old, Mom. It's the same kind of thing. We always want to think that we are further along than we are, but then when we get there, we always want to be further than that.
The next one to ask is, increasing your study time, yay or nay?
I would say nay.
Nay?
Like if you see study as like study, I think you are past the point. If you are stuck at the intermediate plateau, I think you should use more organic approaches to it.
I agree with what you said, but I'm going to disagree with not increasing your study time. I would say yes to doing more organic stuff. Increase the organic, but also keep increasing your regular study time too. I would also agree that some people that might not be the best method. For some people that start to lose motivation in the intermediate plateau, it might be good to not increase your study time to avoid getting burned out. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to kind of shoot the gap on this one because I think that what I have done is I've just been doing language exchange. I still do it like maybe 3-4 times a week. So, and I don't study at all right now. But when I recently started studying a lot more to take the TOEIC test again, I did a lot better than I did before. I almost got a level 6. So what I'm getting at is I made a lot of progress in that time because I increased my study time. So I know it does work. But like you were saying, if it burns you out, then what's the point? You have to balance the fun with the solo study time, I think. So it's kind of a little both.
Should you expose yourself to more Korean? Okay, yes, obviously. What does that mean? Increase your Korean exposure if you're not living in Korea. What types of things can somebody do living outside of Korea to increase their exposure to the Korean language?
I think having the internet is as good as living in Korea. There's a ton of Korean stuff. Korean people talking, Korean interviews, variety shows, talk shows. Right now, if you're living in a place like United States or Britain, there's a ton of Korean people living there too. So it's not impossible for you to actually interact with real Korean people face to face. I'll leave it at that.
That totally depends, right? Because some people talk to me on my YouTube channel sometimes, and they're like, I live in, this sort of smaller state, and there's no Koreans around here. And
there's more cows than people or something.
Yeah.
So what kind of resources then would you recommend for those people?
I like interview style videos like this one that are in Korean. There's a couple channels I like in particular. One is called 영어 알려주는 남자.
But these are for people who are Koreans that are learning English, not for people who are learning Korean.
He speaks Korean about English, but because you know the English as an English speaker, you have some foundation. But like that kind of thing, real life stuff, there's tons of that now, people that do vlogs and stuff. Interviews are better because it's easier to focus on what's said. Vlogs are kind of hard sometimes because people are like looking around while they're talking and stuff.
Penpals, I would say, are also one of the best ways to increase your exposure that don't require any additional time. When I say that, I don't mean that they don't take time, but that time is spread out through the day when you want to use it. Do you have German pen pals then that you're practicing with?
I have like 4 or 5. And one thing that really helped me was that what I asked the partner to do is after the lesson is over, I would ask her to type everything up and record it for me. and I was just listening to it over and over again. But so that helped me tremendously, and it almost felt like I was living in the country.
Okay. Setting new goals. So changing your goals. Yay or nay?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. Refocus yourself, because you got to that plateau because your goals had been accomplished. Now you made it to base camp. Now it's time to go to the top of Everest.
I would say yeah, but not in terms of the level at which you want to arrive. That's not within your control. Set your goal by the activity you put in. Like for example, okay, for the next 3 months, I'll be reading 2 pages of Korean every week or something like that. So something you can control.
And now that I'm thinking about it, base camp is a very wide place, and there are a lot of different directions you can go. And what I had to do with Korean to get to a higher level was focus on certain things that I like to listen to, certain subjects. You kind of have to follow what you like, and then you specify, you pigeonhole yourself purposefully so you can get better at that thing. So I can talk about language for days in Korean, better than most Koreans can, because I know all these grammar words that they don't know. But I can't talk about, butterflies or, like other things that I didn't spend time with. Right. So you have to pick your direction to get out of this really wide plateau. That's why resetting your sights is really important. I like that one.
Now you're at the level where you can actually enjoy the materials that you are exposed to. So I think you should finally pick the topic that you like, that interests. So something you would watch in your native language.
So what are your thoughts? Do you agree or disagree with any of these things? Do you have any additional tips? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.